Um, PhD, I think it was not, when I finished my undergrad, I kind of knew I was going to do a PhD, even actually before my honors. When I finished my high school, I pretty much, yeah, I think I kind of knew I wanted to complete PhD because there was some expectation from my parents as well to, do well. And I think I loved research as well. When I finished my undergrad, yeah, there's not much research in when I did my undergrad, but some of the project works that I did that led me to, okay, I think I'm good at this sort of finding information and interpretation, that sort of stuff. So that's what made me choose BSD. Chemistry, but atmospheric chemistry. So I was looking at what kind of pollutants or chemicals in the particles that, particles in air pollution, that sort of stuff. I think, I'm not sure, yeah, I didn't think really, when I started PhD, I don't think I was thinking about my career that much. I just wanted to do research, and I thought something would, something would fall into my lap, and that would be it. But as I think in third year, I did want to leave research and maybe do more industrial, that side of things. So in environmental sector, either you be a consultant or you be a regulatory scientist. So there's not many choices for you. And I was happy to do both, but luckily I found regulatory position, which was what I thought I would fit in more. This is a good question. I think too many challenges. Yeah, I think PhD is pretty. I think it requires you to be motivated all the time. I think that's the trouble. Like there's always ups and downs, because I think first 2 years of my PhD, I don't even remember how many experiments that I did that didn't go into my thesis. You're doing so much work and not much is happening, especially at the start. And it takes a lot to take that in and then motivate yourself. Okay, it's not working, next day do something else, design experiment, do it again. That process is frustrating at times, but you've got to be a bit of a I think have that personality maybe to to complete what you started. That I think is important, and I think I had that. That was one of the things that I learned. Was I would be happy with small successes, small experiments. Okay, I finished, I have the data. Whereas if you look at the bigger picture, it kind of overwhelms you. Okay, in the scheme of things, that's nothing. So yeah, I think that was my strength. Time management, I think that was my weakness. Especially first 2.5 years, I thought, oh, I have so much time anyway. But later on, it really, not much time at all. So you start with like so much time, and then okay, you don't have time at all, and you have to push yourself. Maybe some of the soft skills. Like I was, I think, too focused on my academic side of things. Like doing experiments, getting data, interpretation, that sort of stuff. But whereas working with a team and getting a bit more social, that sort of stuff didn't happen. Yeah, I think it was a bit lonely 3.5 years for me, but it doesn't have to be. I think now I know, there are opportunities to go to presentation. You can even organize seminars yourself, and there are other things that you can step in and help out. But those opportunities, maybe I wasn't. But yeah, in PhD, people kind of expect you to find this stuff because you're a PhD, so yeah, people kind of expect
everything.
Yeah, you know everything. But yeah, that was something that I regret. Probably I should have focused on that side of things as well. Yeah, exactly that. I think if I had to give one advice, it would be don't take PhD too seriously. Maybe it's not the end of all, or you have your life. PhD is just a part of that. I mean, you do need to have a passion for what you're doing, but doesn't mean that's it. If you fail an experiment, that's the end, and you you go and cry it. But I think I was good at that. I did. I think at least 1.5 years, I had to change some of the aspects of my PhD completely, and I was fine with that. But I found some people kind of want to stick to their initial set of objectives.
Flexibility.
Yeah, I think flexibility is a key. Was a key for me, which is important, I think. And yeah, like I said, don't take things too seriously. Sometimes when you are asked about your concept, your theories, you kind of, when people are critical to your experimental results, then you tend to take things personally. That's not a good idea, because most of the time they're trying to help you as well. Like, they're just being critical because they know you can improve on things. So you got to take things a bit professionally.
Great.
Yeah, so I did my PhD in atmospheric chemistry, and my focus was on analytical chemistry. So technically, what I do currently is analytical chemistry. So I look at method validation and looking at new analytical methods for pollutants, chemicals. So in that sense, technically, yes, it has equipment to do my current job, but also in a broader sense, looking for information, finding information, and evaluating that information. I think that's the core of your PhD. Even if your experiments fail, that doesn't mean you didn't learn anything. You definitely did learn how to find information and how to critically evaluate it, and that's the most important bit. That, yeah, is still useful for me. Well, for us, there is two sides. Usually, in a public service, there's a whole set of criteria that you have to meet. But in addition to that, then there are technical skills. For example, you should be good at fundamental environmental science. So that's there. But also, when we look for good candidates, we do look for those soft skills, like having good teamwork skills, and also the general attitude towards other colleagues and being harmonious. So sometimes we do have questions that target that side of soft skills, not the technical. In addition to the technical skills that we look at. Listening to others. That's especially important in our area where you have a lot of data and then the interpretation might be different. So instead of, sometimes we do get a bit subjective, even in science, there is data, but we do interpret it in different ways. And for environmental risk assessment or impact assessment, it's very important to listen to others, what they are bringing in, and then respond to that, and not just be dismissive. So that listening is one of the very important skills, and also communicating. Like, just don't have all the information come to you and then you the end point. We don't like that. Like, we want you to vertically as well as horizontally communicate ideas or information that you're receiving from clients or your colleagues.